What is going on, YouTube people? 2 weeks from today, as of time of recording, I will be walking the national floor, maybe going into a trade night. Who knows? But I will be at the IX Center in Cleveland. And I don't know if I'm the only one feeling this or not. I am walking in with no plan. I don't know if I'm just in a little bit of rut, burnout, fatigue. I don't know what you want to call it. But I've been thinking about, the Nationals coming up. I got cash set aside for it. I'm ready to rock and roll. And there's nothing really jumping out the page for me that I'm chasing at the moment. The biggest goal of the year was the X-Men 1. That's not a sports card, obviously. I knocked that out at Heroes Con. But on the sports specifically side of things, there's a couple cards that I want. I still want a LeBron Topps Chrome Refractor in like an 8-ish. I would like the LeBron guarding Kobe Topps Chrome Refractor also in an 8, maybe 9-ish. So those are on my list. I would like to... I think the difference on those is I would prefer to at least do some sort of trade for those and not just do all straight cash. But of cards of significance, there is not a lot that is on my want list at the moment. And I don't really know why. Just nothing is grabbing me. And I'm not just going to buy stuff to make a YouTube video. And I'm sure some things will catch my eye. One of the advantages I have with the show being in Cleveland, I am hoping some cool niche Cleveland stuff comes to tables. If dealers have acquired any cool 90s Cleveland sports cards or Browns cards or Cavs or Indians, whatever, any cool Cleveland stuff that a dealer has acquired the last year, they're going to bust out for this show. So now I don't know, what I'm looking for on that stuff, but I'm just hoping to run into maybe some cool Topps Dynasty stuff or whatever. Those things will catch my eye, but that's just going to be stuff that I randomly stumble into. I got a little spark of joy thinking about what non-sports cards I might run into, but kind of the same thing. That's always a surprise as well. I'm never going to know what I'm going to run into there. Last year I got the Rosario Dawson auto, which was super awesome. I was super happy to find that there, but I didn't have that as I thought it was going to be on the show floor when I walked in. I would really like a James Earl Jones autograph as Darth Vader on the non-sports card side. That's definitely something that's on my list. I would love a Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill, but those are super expensive, and I'm just not really in a position to chase something like that at the moment with the X-Men 1 purchase. There's some Marvel stuff that I wouldn't mind getting my hands on. I would love the Robert Downey Jr. auto, but that's a grail piece. That's going to take, some effort to put things together to chase something like that. That card's extremely expensive. And there's some things that I want for the Stellar collection on the Star Wars side specifically, but on the higher end, I need the real high end. On the low end, there's just random things here and there that I need to fill some holes in my collection with that. From a wax side of things, I am actually pretty interested in what sort of deals are on the show floor on Pokemon wax specifically, sealed booster boxes, especially come end of show, Saturday, end of day, Sunday. I usually don't go to the National on a Sunday, but this year I am planning on doing that since it's local to me. Last year I was excited about the Topps Chrome stuff and doing the buyback packs, the national packs and all that, and, ripping those 8 boxes and kind of doing that whole video series. And to be honest, Topps/Fanatics kind of sucked the wind out of my sails a little bit on that this year. The increase in box prices, the massive increase in the checklist, those two things combined kind of is making me go a little on Topps Chrome Baseball this year. Product that I was super excited for at the beginning of the year. And maybe part of it is that the class itself has been, while it's deep and there's a lot of names and there's a lot of potential, on its surface has not had the greatest season overall. That being said, there's still a lot of flashy names in there. I'm sure it'll be a fun product to open, but just with the changes that they made, I don't have that same zeal for it as I did in last year walking into the building. And the other thing that's kind of hanging out there from just my perspective personally, I am also going to Fanatics Fest 2 weeks later. You know, and that is weighing in the back of my mind as well. Like I need to budget accordingly. Like I have the National, and then literally 2 weeks after that, I'm heading to New York City, one of the most expensive places in the country you could go to. And I want to make sure that I have cash on hand for that as well. Because I have a feeling, you know, there hasn't been any announcements so far in regards to what they are doing for product exclusive drops, like convention exclusives. And I have to imagine they have something cooking. I'm going to assume we get either a football or basketball product exclusively drop at that show. And I want to make sure that I'm positioned to at least get a box or two of that to open up for content and to enjoy it and check out the product and see what it's all about. You know, it's going to be unlicensed. How good or bad is it? What do the cards look like? How does it feel? Opening one of the boxes, you know, I want to have a hands-on experience with that stuff. So I have that coming up immediately after the National. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are going to both. And that's weighing in the back of my mind as well. And I wonder, I don't know how much of an impact Fanatics Fest existing will have on, you know, dealers and show attendees at the National. There's probably also a ton of people that can only go to one or the other. You know, I'm lucky enough that I'm able to go to both of those things. Also, for me personally, I kind of feel like I normally have a little bit of this malaise in the middle of the year. It seems like every year I get geared up for Heroes Con in June, and I get like really deep into, you know, the comic book side of things, and my excitement level really builds for that, because usually there's something very specific that I'm chasing. Each of the last couple of years, or I've had very specific targets for that show going into it. And that really helps build the excitement level for the show. As I mentioned earlier, for the National, there's just really nothing grabbing me right now. Even like, you know, I'm pretty diligent about my eBay save searches and like checking them. I usually check them every morning when I get up, and then I'll randomly poke around on them, you know, during the day. And then I always usually check them at night. It's just kind of like my wind down activity before I head to bed. And I've been missing, you know, checking eBay save searches the last couple weeks. I've gone a day or two without checking my eBay save searches, and I'm sure I've missed some stuff. I know I missed, which I'm actually kind of pissed about it. A Ryan Reynolds Topps X-Men autograph went up for $1,800, which is like a little high, but there's just none available. And with the pump of Deadpool and all that, that card's really shot up. It was a fair price. Like I said, maybe a skosh high, and it got snatched up immediately. Like it went up. MC Sports Cards put it up for consignment. It was up for a very short period of time, and then someone binned it. And if I would have saw it, I would have considered making a run at it. The only reason I might have hesitated is for what I spoke about before. The Nationals in 2 weeks, and then in 4 weeks, basically 1 month from today, I will be at Fanatics Fest in New York. But is anyone else just kind of feeling a meh right now in the current state of things? And it's not like I'm looking like, oh, you know, I'm done, I'm out, anything crazy like that. I'm not selling my collection off or anything nonsensical like that. It's more just like taking a pause, I guess. I don't even know what. Probably some random Indians prospect is the last sports card that I bought over the last month or so. You know, I've been randomly grabbing some CJ Kafis and some Rafi Velasquez cards, who are two, you know, they're in like AA, some Jason Churio, some lower end Indians prospects, grabbing some of their stuff here and there. And I've been selling some stuff, nothing crazy. Some Joe Kenzie Noel that I had sitting around. So it's not like I'm not participating in the hobby, obviously. Like I'm still 100% fully ingrained to the inner workings day to day. It's just more so the buying aspect of it that I've kind of slowed down on. And maybe part of it too is there hasn't been a lot of good product to chase right now. You know, we had Top Series 2 come out, but it was just kind of whatever. It was fine. You know, I ripped 2 jumbos. It was fine. I missed out on Bowman Sapphire because it sold out in 0.3 seconds. I was kind of excited for that. And like I mentioned earlier about Topps Chrome Baseball, I was kind of excited for that. But then Topps sucked the excitement out of that with kind of the way they've structured that product between pricing and checklist. So I guess, long way of saying long story short or whatever, I'm just kind of in a weird spot right now. And I guess the point of this video is anybody else feeling like this right now? 2 weeks out from the National, on the card side of things, sports cards specifically, I am not like super jazzed up about anything. I'm jazzed about the National to see my friends, to hang out, to walk around. There's still that excitement of you never know what's going to be in the next showcase. But I just don't have, and maybe that's what it is, I don't have that thing that I am specifically chasing that usually gets me going for these larger shows. Like I mentioned with Heroes Con, I usually walk into that with a very specific thing that I'm looking for. Even Nationals past, I might not have had a specific card, but I had a specific idea. Hey, I am looking specifically for NBA stuff. The National is typically a pretty good time to buy NBA. And it also feels like, and maybe this is worth a video on its own, football, is it getting the pump that it normally does pre-National? I haven't seen a lot of like, oh my God, we need to run after and get our Sam Howells and our Desmond Ritters and our Sam Darnolds and Kyler Murrays and pick whatever other, 25th ranked quarterback that someone's pumping. I feel like I haven't seen a lot of that stuff, but maybe maybe the algo is not throwing it at me. Is that out there? I know card prices really haven't moved. Maybe I'll deep dive that late this week or sometime next week. But I don't know. It just feels like right now cards, sports cards specifically, are just kind of in a very malaise, I guess. I used that term earlier, but I think that's the best way that I could describe it. And like I said, this is not me announcing my retirement or selling out or anything like that. It's just, I just don't have a chase this year, and it just feels kind of weird. I don't know. It's just kind of where I'm at. But like I said, curious for your thoughts and comments down below on this one. Is anyone else just kind of feeling the same? Just like an indifference, I guess, towards things and where we kind of currently sit. I don't know. That's all I got. Curious for your thoughts and comments, as always, down below. Catch you boys and girls on the next one, and see you in 2 weeks. Peace.